Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Em and today I'm going to be doing a winter landscape study part 2. This was last week, this is this week, and I'm going to be using color pencils and I'm just going to jump right into it now. Okay. I was so mad at this drawing, but now I don't mind it too much because I posted it on my stories and people seem to like it. So maybe it's just me, but it's just not accurate to the reference of what I wanted. I'm going to try again. Let's do something down here that's more complicated and harder to do. Probably going to frustrate me even more. But I do really want to practice, and I really, really, really badly want to get good at drawing. Oh, I call them pine trees, but I guess evergreen trees or whatever. I don't know like the specifics on what those trees are, but you know, the one with pine needles. So this is going to be, that's the picture I'm going for. There's two, this is much different than this one. There's not too much mist. It's snowing. There's a lot of snow in the back. And so it's very blurry back here. So that's good. We can still do some blurry effects. And I'm definitely going to add it even where it's more defined in some places. So this is the most white part. This is the part that's in the most foreground. And this is even in the back, but it's still pretty defined. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I know I'm going to use this color though, because it's just about exactly the color I want to use. And I have taped this off, but I added a little piece of paper right here to protect, so I don't tape the actual pencil. Even though I sprayed it with fixative, I don't want to get any tape right onto where I just have all that pencil. I'm pretty sure it would take that off. So I'm going to find the middle of the page. And the middle of this is here, so there's actually more stuff close to the edge. So I'm just trying to find out where everything is. This one's going to be more complicated, harder to hide mistakes, I believe. So I guess I'm just going to try and group it into shapes of big shapes of where I see that there's a lot of snow, like a big snowy kind of pile on branches. I'm gonna try to separate it into that. I'm not obsessed with it being perfect, but I do want it to kind of resemble what's happening in this picture. After the top one, I'm like, okay, let's just focus on, I don't know, making a scene. It's good to like unfocus your eyes for things like this. Try to think about it, what it would look like in black and white. Even though it seems hard, I feel like it would be really fun to render, and that's why I want to try it. That's why I really want to do this. It's just going to be a big challenge, and I'm like, if I'm in a bad mood, is that a good challenge to have? I don't know. Okay, whatever. This is the middle. This is kind of other stuff, and that's a different trees back there. This is this tree. Blah, blah, blah. That's there. I gotta not focus on that right now. I also really like how there's like dark, very small dark parts. Take this color and darken what we definitely know is dark to separate the two. We're gonna have to go quite dark as we go back here. Like the background is quite dark, which I think is fun. And I'm excited to do the snowflakes. I think it's some kind of filter someone's put on. I wasn't as lucky with being able to find where this photograph came from. But it still looks cool, so we can still get the idea of it. The snowflakes and all that. Okay. This is going to take a while, I feel. The photo I'm looking at is tiny. Also, sometimes when I say I can't see things, it's not that I literally can't see or there's something wrong with my eyes, but it's that I always go from off of my phone. And it makes it so that it's quite difficult to see stuff sometimes. I do also wear glasses, so I do actually have like a hard time. Like the image is actually quite small for me. I'm going to try to blur my eyes and just put in what I can see in general. I want to do as little detail right now as possible. I think everything I'm doing is too big. I think it's like you're making it too big because I look at it and then I zoom in with my eyes right away and then I make it too big in my head and then I draw it too big. That's a problem. So again, how do I solve it? I don't know. I guess one thing we can say is that we know that this part's dark. I want it to come off what kind of tree it is with as little detail as possible. Am I saying I'm going to be able to do that? No. I don't think I will. I think there's potential for this to get just as frustrating, if not more, than the last one. But it's really good information to know, like, not to get, it's not that I'm not going to get frustrated. I know that I will, but I need to figure out at some point what's going on here. How to do these types of trees if I really want to. I'm not kidding when I say that every single year I try to do these trees and I get so mad that I give up. And I very rarely give up. Like usually I keep trying, but I get so upset with this. Like it pisses me off so much that I cannot do this. It's actually making me really mad just thinking about it. Guess I can always darken around here too after, which this will become a lot darker. And I'm also struggling to find out how much detail do we really want to go into when the picture is this small and we're using color pencil. Not too much, I would imagine, just where the really dark shadows are, really. Also, I was editing another video last night and figured out how to do sound effects. So then I was like, oh good, all the swearing I was doing yesterday will be totally fine because I'm gonna beep it. I think it is useful to know that, like, if you do like the way that the stuff that I do looks, I didn't just sit there and whip it out easily every single time I did it. And especially if you really like the way it looks, it was very difficult. I had a hard time. And I'm hoping one day that that's, not the case, that I actually have an easy time doing it. Really, the reason I picked this picture is because I very much like the color of the background. And I like how I can see a very, very faint tree line and how a lot of stuff is faded back and some stuff is really kind of, white, from the snow. So I like how there's that perspective and stuff. I like doing that. I like looking at the photo. Should I just fade it a bit and then kind of do some dots of a darker color and that's where the dark parts are? Or I'll also take a jelly roll pen, I think, and sort of nail down some stuff that way. If you have a jelly roll pen, then you can just highlight whatever's white, so it's not that big of a deal. Then I can do erase too with my really tiny eraser that I'm actually hating right now, but whatever. Problem is that there's all these kinds of stupid sticks in this dumb tree. I know I'm going pretty dark with these bits here, but don't worry, I'm gonna darken, like this is gonna be the darkest part later, but I'm just working with one color right now, so. Maybe if I just go sort of dark like that, there's a really dark part here. I don't want to think about it too much, actually. Okay, I don't know. Oh, let's use an eraser for a little while. Okay, this is what? This is this? Like, see this part right here? I like this. I absolutely love the idea of a dark and wintry night. Scary, wintry. I don't think I'm seeing a lot of tiny branches and very small little dark shadows. And I don't think I can really go into that much detail. I don't know if it's possible because of just how tiny, the paper, how tiny this image is how tiny I'm drawing it. Well, one thing we know for sure is that there is a ground. The ground is there. I guess the key with this is having a very light hand. And just maybe it's also being patient, which is actually going to piss me right off. I don't want to be patient right now. This part I kind of like. So that's good. Something's going on here. There's too many maybe pencil lines. Maybe I just have to do... And it actually is quite dark right here. And there's a lot of sticks and stuff. So let's just kind of make some stick looking stuff. Let's just try to get the definition of some type of tree. I have a feeling that this is going to involve a lot of kind of using an eraser just because of the snow effect. The eraser and the white pen. Okay, now doing this, like actually getting them the little bits, it's actually kind of fun. Whoa! We'll come back to it. I don't entirely hate it. I think I need a little space from it, kind of like the one I did yesterday. Let's just leave it at that. It's generally the shape of the tree. I think that's as good as I can ask for right now. Maybe as I go and I do the next one, I'll get better at it, and then I can come back and do more. Just want to get the idea that there's a bit of snow in there, sort of piling around the tree. This is right after a snowstorm. I live in a very snowy place. And frankly, I like the snow. Actually, I'm not I like when the seasons change. I like winter. I think it's fun. And hey, a little something under the page there. That's great. So I guess just start drawing some random little lines. Kind of really like the idea of just sort of toning it all and then erasing. I seem to like how that looks, or it works out better for me, or in the way that I want when I do that. Doesn't have to be exact though. I do want to really make sure to make these a lot smaller little pieces because we're seeing this a lot closer than this one. So we do need to see some more detail here so that we know that this tree is closer than the other tree. So I guess the best way to do it is to just slowly build up bits and pieces here. I think what is confusing me with these trees and everything like this is that I'm not thinking about it as a 3D shape because there's so much to it. It's very intimidating. So try to still think of those as a 3D shape and shade them in that way maybe will help me. I'm trying to get you as close as I can here without not being able to see what I'm doing with the camera in the way kind of thing. I also have always had a feeling like once I do get it, figure out how to do these trees, that it would be so fun for me. So that's why I'm very curious about it too. Like what if I get really good at it and then it's my most favorite thing to draw? Definitely going to need to work on the detail and making things seem a little smaller, but that's okay. That's okay. We can do that kind of stuff with the color, I think, as well, when we add a little bit more color. Okay, so this is what we're looking at now. I think it's okay. I think it would do some good to kind of work on this background a little bit and not think too much. Okay, this is a bad angle. Okay, so had to get the right angle to put my hand at here because this has to be a very light process. Let me look at the picture here. Quite a bit of blue in it. I'm seeing purpley, pinky blue. I'm going to just try to stay away from the trees if I can stop touching them. And I'm thinking if I can get this background in the way that I want, that it's going to make a big difference in how the trees look because they need to be outlined in some way. What other color can I use? I don't know. I'm scared to use blue because I'm just a big baby. But I will. I will use it. Let me find it. Oh, here's a good one. This will be good. Smalt? What the hell is smalt? Well, let's say this. I definitely feel like I'm figuring out a challenge here. Just trying to make sure I keep with the shape, which I, to be perfectly honest, feel like I just lost randomly. Like within like the last 1 minute of doing this, I just feel like I lost the shape on that side. Probably because I made everything the same color. That's nice. That one. Found this nice little blue though. Update on me. I'm really getting tired of doing this. I really want it to work out, but I am like, I don't know, is it ever going to work? Am I ever going to be able to do it? Maybe don't pick something so difficult. Would be probably the best way to start. I have no idea what's going on. Like any of this, completely lost. I'm completely lost as to what's happening. It's just too complicated for my dumb little eyes and smooth ass brain to see. Try to put some like little bits in here. Because this the photograph was taken with a flash, it's like quite dark in places, which I really liked. That I thought was really cool. I need to like more obviously identify what's in the background vis-a-vis these branches. Which ones are further back, because that's like the whole point. Oh, I like this color. Just gonna do some little lines in hopes that that will make it better. Okay, so I guess let's stop avoiding the really hard and scary part, which is doing the darkest bits in here. What do we really have to lose at this point? Absolutely nothing, so let's just go for it. Okay, I don't mind that. Guess I'm not Bob Ross. Guess I once again have figured out that I'm not Bob Ross. Bit disappointing. One time someone said that I am their Bob Ross, and that made me really happy. It warmed my heart. Trying to reach that high ever since. Okay. Whatever. This tree needs some darkness too, but I don't want to like go too crazy for that. But it does have a lot of darkness in it, like these little holes where there's branches poking through. Should that be it for that? Oh my god. Yeah, that should be it. Yeah, just a little bit there because that's what it looks like in the picture. Well, I mean, none of this is what it looks like in the picture, but it's okay. I just wanted it to be like a dreamy kind of thing. And I feel like I'm noodling way too much. All right, whatever. Should we call that done? I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to. Just going to take this eraser and erase out where some snowy branches may reside to kind of further blend things and hopefully help my case here. I'm just picking randomly now. I'm not looking at the reference. I'm just kind of to make it more like aesthetically pleasing to what I want. And then I guess I'll do a little bit here. I don't really want to go into as much detail on this one because I want to make sure we know what's behind. Let's get a little bit of, make sure we know the snow is here as well. Just a touch. Okay, enough dicking around with that. Let me find my jelly roll. I was about to lose my mind because I thought my jelly roll was missing again. So, where are these snowflakes? Where can we put them? I wonder if I should try and erase a little. They're too tiny, I think, the spots to erase, but yeah, we're gonna have to go full jelly roll. Then I could just like do that, I guess, to blend it out. Some of them are more clear because they're in the camera's focus more. What we're gonna do is we're going to try and put a lot of these little snowflakes. Not too much, but you know, like a lot. To try and hide what's happening in the background. Hope it shows up on these bits here. Maybe tomorrow I'll get up and I'll be like, ooh, I love it. So I'm trying to just make it look like it's snowing a lot. In the picture it doesn't look like this, but this is where we're at. Okay, so now I'm going to very, very carefully try to take off this tape. Last time it sort of ripped the paper a bit, but I tried to put it on pretty like lightly. Ooh, let's get a close up. So I'm just going to be really gentle while pulling this. I know that you can use a hair dryer. The hair dryer that I have is really, really strong because it's like my old hairdressing hair dryer, and it would like set this thing ablaze, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's coming off much easier this time. Shouldn't have pushed it down so much before. And here is the last piece. Satisfying, even though it's not paint. Okay, so here they are finished. I feel better now. I actually don't mind this for a first attempt. For first attempts, it's okay. I think what needs to happen is we maybe need to go outside and touch a little bit of grass or touch a little bit of snow, I guess, and just look at some real life trees like this. They're all over the place where I live, so maybe I will go outside and film some. Let's take some reference photos. Let's put them up somewhere so that we can all look at them. I don't know. And I'm just spitballing here. But I think if maybe I go out and take some reference photos and we work from those, maybe just to do like a Christmas tree style one where it's all green, kind of a, you know, let's think on that. I'm going to think on that. But this is what we have so far. I'm going to spray them both again with fixative. Yeah. Did you like the Bob Ross? Did you think it was Bob Ross? It wasn't. Bye, see you next week.